It's Vanita from WCCO Radio. Joining me now on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline is Marcus Fuller, a Strib Varsity reporter. Hello, Marcus. I'm so excited about this partnership between WCCO Radio and Strib Varsity. And I know you've made kind of a switch in your positions from covering the Gophers to doing this. What have you enjoyed the most about covering high school sports?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having Vanita. I appreciate it. I always loved being on with WCCO when I covered the Gophers for 20 years. It's crazy to say, but it was a really good run, and a lot of great teams, a lot of great players. Yeah, I mean the transition. Obviously, a lot of high school reporters, make the transition to college. And I used to be a high school reporter. It's been a while, and now I'm, going back to college or high schools. And the recruiting side is the easiest part. I've dealt with a lot of these high school coaches, a lot of players either recruited by the Gophers or recruited at that level. So it's really exciting to be able to see them play a lot more and deal with them on a weekly basis. I'm doing a lot of football and volleyball, and both of those sports I did cover in the fall for the Gophers. And so, it's just a different level, but a lot of these kids, like I said, they're very talented and they'll be playing at the next level. And it's really exciting to see them on the court and on the field.
Okay, let's talk football first. It's nothing like section football. It's so much fun. The rivalries, the schools behind these teams, all the fans, and we've got so much action coming up today and tomorrow.
Yeah, I think, this time of the year, it's really exciting for not only the players and the coaches that have had a really good regular season or trying to have a different type of season in the postseason to turn things around, but the fans. College atmosphere is one thing, but the high school atmosphere is another. And before they go off to the state tournament, if some of these teams are able to advance to the bank, obviously the Viking Stadium, they'll be playing at home, they'll be playing on the road, and it's just really, really, it's that atmosphere of the playoffs where it's one and done. I mean, if you lose, you're going home, and if you win, you'll advance. And everyone wants to get to state, and they want to win a state title.
It certainly is the dream for sure. What are the big matchups this weekend that you think, for those who aren't tied to a specific high school, what are the ones that you're watching that are going to be the best games, you think?
Yeah, well, I definitely had the opportunity to cover a lot of the number one teams in the state this year, 4A, 5A, and 6A. I mean, 6A, you've got defending champion Maple Grove, incredibly talented team, returned a lot of players from last year. Their quarterback is going to South Dakota State. Caden Harney is one of the best in the state. But I look at James Engel, the running back for Maple Grove. Last year, he was a backup, and this year, he's had an incredible season, almost 200 yards rushing a game, 20 touchdowns, and they go how he goes. So Maple Grove being able to hold on to that number one seed and get through to the state playoffs would be great. But I'm actually looking at 5A. 5A is a really interesting class where St. Thomas Academy is number one in that class. But defending champion Elk River, they don't have a top seed, and right behind Chanhassen is right there with them as well. So I like Chanhassen matchup on Saturday. I think Chanhassen, St. Thomas Academy, and definitely Elk River all have a chance to advance to state, and they'll have some tough matchups for sure.
That's what makes it a great atmosphere for these fans to really enjoy and cheer for their teams. I know yesterday volleyball started. Who are you seeing as the favorites this year?
Again, you look at last year's state champions, Lakeville South in 4A, and Marshall in 3A. Those are the two teams I feel like from the beginning of the season until now, they've been the most consistent, and they returned a lot of talent from last year. I've been kind of racking my brain a little bit trying to figure out who's going to be on the All-Minnesota team, who's going to be our player of the year. And it's really exciting to see that a lot of players from last year that were playing at a high level. We've got Gopher recruits. We've got players that are going to a high major level and playing high level volleyball next year in college. They'll have a chance to advance and get their teams to state. But again, I really like Marshall. I really like Lakeville South. Maple Grove, again, we're talking about football, but volleyball as well. Maple Grove has a really good team that's hot right now, and they'll have a chance to advance as well.
What is it about Maple Grove, man? In so many different sports, they just dominate. Are kids just moving to that area, or what is it? They cultivate talent? What's going on, Marcus?
Yeah, I at a youth level, both my kids played different sports, and Osseo Maple Grove, they kind of were together at the youth level, and then they just branch out, obviously. And Maple Grove ends up getting a lot of talent. It reminds me of the Woodbury area too, where Woodbury and Eastridge both have a lot of really good talented athletes coming through, and a lot of them end up at Eastridge. But again, Maple Grove in volleyball, last year they were knocked out in the sections. They're hoping to get to state. And Maple Grove in football, there's really not a lot of teams that challenged them this year. Minnetonka played them in the title game last year, and they knocked Minnetonka off in the regular season. So, I would be really surprised if they didn't make a run all the way to the championship. But this year, there's so many good teams out there, so many talented players that you look at the section championships this weekend, and you might see a top team or two get challenged.
Well, that's what makes it this time of year so much fun. Marcus, really good to talk to you. Really looking forward to this partnership with Strib Varsity. We're going to have more of the Strib Varsity reporters on. We'll talk to you again in the future. Good luck with all the coverage, and I know you'll have some great coverage in StarTribune.com.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.